Hey everyone, and welcome back to Study Canada International. Some of you were asking recently what the admission seasons were in Canada. Some wanted to know what the alternatives were if someone missed the application deadline, and there were also questions on when is the best time to arrive in the country as an international student. So I'll be addressing all these and more in today's video, so make sure to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to do so, like, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give me feedback on the content that I'm sharing with you, and if you have questions, feel free to comment with your questions or send me an email. And if it's not a topic I've already addressed, I might have a video for you. And just so you know, a quick reminder that Study Canada International aims to help you be able to, do the process, go through the process by yourself. So really, that's my aim to give you the skill or and give you the tools that you need to be able to apply for schools and your visa on your own and do everything by yourself, especially for those of you who will not or do not have access to a reliable, credible agent, or the school that you're applying to has not made a recommendation for you based on your home country. All right, so let's get back to the topic of the admission seasons. So, as you already may know, the main admission season, not just in Canada, but pretty much everywhere around the world, is September. So, Canada also observes the same. We have September as the main admission season. It doesn't matter where you're going, if you're applying to a college or university, an undergrad, postgrad, whatsoever, your chances are all the programs that you are targeting or the school that you have in mind will have admissions open for September. All right, so September is the main admission season in Canada as well, but we do have other options. For those of you who might miss the September season, so yeah, I also prefer the September season for a few reasons. One being that it is the admission season with the most options for programs. I bet you that no matter what program you're targeting, it is going to be available and open in September. If it's not open in September, chances are the faculty is closed. But hey, I'm very sure any program that you're targeting with any school will be open to you to apply for September. Now, the other good thing about the September admission season is that if you're lucky enough to get your visa approved in advance, you could arrive a little earlier. I would arrive in August, and that's what I did actually. So my program started in September. I arrived in August just to give me a little bit of an adjustment period because I knew the winter. There's winter in Canada, and I'd never experienced winter before, so I wanted to give myself a bit of a time to gradually, condition myself, prepare myself, and get ready for winter. And just a side note here, it doesn't matter where you're coming from or what time you arrive in the country. If you've never seen snow, it is going to be a big shock to you no matter what season or time you arrive in Canada once the winter sets in. All right, so yeah, September is nice because you come in at a time when it's also called the fall admission season. You come in at a time when the weather is changing gradually from the summer, getting into, things getting dry, the leaves falling, and then, winter taking over from there. So it is a nice time to come to Canada. It is a very colorful period or colorful season, I would say. But yeah, so target September as your main, September should be your main target because once again, all the programs are going to be available to you in September. And when is the best time to apply for September admission? I would say start as early as possible, depending on when your school makes the program available. If your school makes the program open for application in May, why not just apply for it? But if they make it open at a later date, make sure to catch it as soon as the application is open, because your chances are higher if you apply earlier. I've seen a lot of people apply and be put on a wait list. You definitely don't want to be on a wait list because the chances are very slim, depending on which school you're applying to and the program you're applying to. If it's a an in-demand program, chances are if you're put on a wait list, you will end up being granted admission in the next season the program is available. And as I'm recording this video today, it is July of 2023. So depending on which country you're from, if you've not already applied for September and you're still thinking of applying to September, simply because the program is open, I will say it might be a bit too late. Really, again, depends on which country you're applying from, because some countries have a longer visa processing time. So where I'm from, at the moment, the visa processing time is between 60 to 90 days. So, there's not a lot of time left between now and September. School always starts in the first week, usually the first Monday of September. So, there's not a lot of time. I don't think there's 2 months left for school to start. So it might be a bit too late for you if you've not already applied to September. But that's not the end of it. There is hope. If you miss the September admission season, there is another option available to you, which is the January admission season, also called the winter school. So September is called the fall school, and January is the winter school. Now, the January winter school is also great. It will have the second. It will be the second best option in terms of program availability. Not every program will be available for you in winter. So make sure to check your school calendar to be sure that the program you're interested in is open for January admission. If not, then your best bet is still September. But yeah, so the great thing or the nice thing about the winter school is that if you're doing, say, a 1-year postgrad or master's program, you will have a break in between. So winter school starts in January all the way to late April or early May, and then you have a break the whole of the summer off, and then you come back to school in September. For international students who work is important for you, or you're planning to work over the summer to raise some cash, I think the winter school is still a great option because you get that 3 months summer break, or 4 months summer break to work full time, because at that time you wouldn't be actively in school, so you can work more than 40 hours or more. It's really up to you. But while you're in school, a reminder again that you are allowed by law to work only 20 hours. So coming back to the September admission or the fall school, so for fall school, it also starts from September all the way to December, and then you will have your second semester starting from January all the way to late April or early May. If you're doing a 1-year postgrad or a master's program, you'll be done with your program by late April or early May. So really, you'd see that your 2 semesters are back to back, right? You wouldn't in January when you go for your December break. It's not a long break. You might have just about 2 weeks between 24th all the way to the first week in January, and then you're back in school for your second semester. So your program is going to be back to back. But if you arrive in January, you're going to have that nice long break in between. So you start your program from January to April or May, and then you're done. Your first semester, you have the whole of the summer off, and then you come back to school in September to finish off your second semester, and by December you're done. Okay, but if you miss January if you miss the fall season or the winter school, the third and final option available to you is going to be the spring school. And spring school starts in May or April. Again, check with your school. Some schools will have programs started in May. Some schools will have programs starting in the late part of April. So check with your school and see what the spring school start date is. But yeah, the spring school in terms of program availability is the least favorite, I would say, because a lot of the faculty members would like to take that time off over summer. That's the nice. It is nice and warm in summer, and people usually like to take that time off. So not every program will be available for you to apply to, or will be available to you over spring school. But if you're lucky and your program option is available in spring, yeah, you can definitely go for it. I would say it's probably one of the nicer, yeah, it is definitely the nicest time to arrive in the country, because if you arrive in spring, at that time the snow is just thawing and the temperature is beginning to rise. You get that nice long transition period all the way between April to May, all the way to the next winter, right? So you get about 6 months or more of a transition period. The only downside about the spring school is that you don't get that nice long summer break to work, right? So unless you're coming with a full stash of cash, then this might be a disadvantage for you, because most of your colleagues in school will be off campus working full time over spring and summer, while you'll be in school full time. So you wouldn't be able to work full time at that time. So if you come to school in spring, you'll also do your first semester over spring, and then so it starts in May, June, July. By August, you're done, and then you have maybe 2 weeks break, and then you start your second semester in the fall, which is the September of that same year, and then you'll be done by December, along with those who started in January. That is if you're doing a 1 year program. If you're applying to a bachelor's program, a 2 year, 3 year, 4 years program, maybe it doesn't really matter, because somewhere along the line you will have a chance to work full time, right? Because you have more time. So this is especially for those that are coming in for a 1 year program. This is something you might want to keep in mind. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. If you've never seen snow, just be prepared for it. Be it January, be you coming in for January or September or spring, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a big shock to you, but you can do it. Everybody has done it. I have done it, and people will continue to do it after you. So, just be prepared for it. It's just completely different, right? But with time, you get to adjust to it, and then it becomes a part of life for you, the normal for you, I guess. So yeah, these are the admission seasons open for international students and even locals in Canada. So three admission seasons. The main one is September, where all the programs will be available. And for you as an international student, if you come in September, there is some transition period for you that helps you adjust, with the weather from fall. From the beginning of fall all the way to winter. And then you get a break in December, 2 weeks break, and then you do your second semester starting in January. And then by spring, you're done with your program if you're doing a 1 year program. So for September or the fall school, you have your semesters back to back with only 2 weeks break, and then you have the whole of the summer available to you to work full time. If you miss September or the fall admission season, the next best bet for you is the winter school, which starts in January. So you start in January, you end your first semester in April or May, and then you have that nice long break, 3 or 4 months in between for you to work full time, and then you do your second semester in the fall of that same year. So that is also nice. The only downside again about the winter school is that you might come at a time when you will just arrive in the cold, right? So just keep that in mind. If you're coming from like a plus 23 degrees Celsius country, you might find yourself in Canada the next day in a region where it's minus 23 degrees Celsius. So that is a difference of about minus 47 degrees Celsius, right? Or yeah, 47. I guess on the number line we'll count the 0. I could be wrong, but yeah. And then if you miss both fall and winter school, your next best option or the final option available to you, and this might not be for every program once again, will be the spring school, where you start over the nice, the spring period, where the temperature is beginning to rise, and then you finish your semester off in August, and then you might have that 2 weeks break, and then you do your final semester in fall all the way to end of that year. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me hear your thoughts. Like, share, and comment. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.